Hello and welcome to FIFA Talks, the home of football esports, where I'll be joined by various guests from around this scene to learn more about what makes them tick on and off the pitch. Now, today I'm joined by perhaps the best player in the Oceania region, Mr. Mark11. How are we feeling, Chief?
That's some high praise, but yeah, I'll take it, that's for sure. I'm feeling good.
Well, hey, it could be my opinion, but the numbers seem to back it up, the stats seem to back it up, so I'm just going off what I'm seeing in it. Now, one thing I always say with the pro events is that I want to see more and learn more about people's personality. That's what makes me want to support people in these events. So, before we get into all the meta tactics and the ratty formations that guys want to talk about, we're going to chat about real life first, and obviously we'll get into the gaming side of things, and then we'll wrap up with some quick fire hot seat questions that can, I guess, again, allow guys to learn more about you. Now, obviously, I am an unbiased football expert. So, I want to know about how you got into football to begin with. How did it start?
So I get yelled at a lot for this, but I do obviously go for Man City. So yeah, 4 times champions. So yeah, that's doesn't go down well with a lot of people, but I do support them quite religiously, I'd say. So that's the footballing side of it.
Well, is there a reason for that? Like, when did that start roughly? Is it going to be 2012? Is it going to be after that?
That's the good. that joke always comes up, so yeah, I'm used to that joke. But nah, I supported them like before, like they grew up. I'm only 20, so like probably like 10, 12 years ago, probably when I started actually like watching football. So we didn't win much back then. So yeah.
Fascinating. Fair enough. Obviously, you talked about you're quite young and upbringing. So I'm hearing that you're somewhat Mr. International. We have Australia, we have Egypt, we have America. So chat to me, how did it start, and then where have you been moving about since?
Yeah, so I was born in America, first of all, so I was born in America, and then I was there for about like 3 months, and then I moved straight back to Egypt, where all my like family is. I think pretty sure I've got like a certificate for like the youngest person to ever travel on a plane. Because I travelled like after like a month that I was born, so
I haven't got that one on the list of accolades, but I'll add that one as well.
It might have been broken. It was about 20 years ago, so probably someone already broke that record. But yeah, so I was born there. I lived in Egypt for 10 years, then moved to Australia when I was 10 years old, and here I am. That's it.
Fair enough. There is a question that I like to ask whenever I meet someone that has an Egyptian background. Is Salah the best Egyptian, or is it a certain Mr. Abu Trika?
No, it's Salah. He's the best. Unfortunately, we've never actually won an AFCON with him. So when you put it in regards to that statement, it doesn't really back it. But I do think he's the best, and from what I've seen at least.
Fair enough. Yeah, because obviously, like in my upbringing, I used to see Egypt win and win and win and win, and then Salah arrived and well, no comment about what happened afterwards. But fair enough. So obviously now you're getting in towards the esports side of things, but you're also doing uni, as far as I'm hearing. Is that correct?
Yeah. I've got, of course, Middle Eastern parents, so studying is a pretty big thing. I think like you're a doctor, physio, everything there. But yeah, I do the sports science. I just enjoy like sport in general. So anything that related, I can like take on my time. Of course, I just do it. It's a bit of fun, I guess, and also better than just staying at home all day and just playing the game. Yeah.
No, I hear it. Obviously, you mentioned Middle Eastern parents. I think any parents from foreign backgrounds in general, they're going to react a certain way when you say, yeah, hi mom, hi dad, I'm going to start streaming or gaming or whatever. So how were they reacting initially when you, I guess, started playing games a bit too frequently?
Well, I was on some strict rules, because I used to be like very smart back in like Egypt. I'd say I was still pretty smart in like educational levels and stuff, but for example, like in like I was banned from like playing PlayStation from Monday to Friday. I'd only have to play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That was my 3 days. And then the internet would shut at 9 p.m, 9:30 if I'm lucky. So, and that was actually my first ever competitive year. I played I came top 3 in OCE, and I only played 3 days a week and only like a few hours, and had school and stuff. But yeah.
Okay, so how long have you been playing, I guess, PlayStation in general then, before you got into esports? Was it like just a couple years and then bang, you realised you were cold, or how did this happen?
Honestly, like, I can only remember like FIFA 17, like that's the FIFA I can remember when I started actually, like maybe even before, but FIFA 17 I can remember like the Marco Royce cover and stuff, so I remember that's for sure. But I used to be like a big fan of like A9 skills and the Panthers, like the RTGs. I used to watch those. I used to like. It was some back. It was a lot of fun back then. Lots of good YouTubers. But yeah, I used to honestly just watch them a lot every single like morning before school, having lunch, dinner. I was I'd say addicted to the game back then. Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I was with you. FIFA, like that exact same year as well. Yeah. So I was living in Netherlands at the time. I was doing a year abroad, and I was living by myself. I would wake up. I'm watching RTG videos on YouTube. I have lunch. I'm watching RTG videos, so I fully hear it. But now I feel old because you're saying that. Obviously, 2017 is your like proper exposure, and I'm there playing since 05, and I'm not a pro player yet, bro. I'm just sitting there doing nothing. But fair enough. So what made you decide then that I'm gonna try and get into esports? Did you realize maybe you were getting like 30 or 40 O's, or what was happening?
I used to get like gold 1, so like gold 1 is like, but I was like 14, 15, so that's not even like, that was back when there was like 40, 30 games. I wasn't even like that good at the game, but I do come from like a bit of a pro clubs background, so obviously in like OCE, like pro clubs is a pretty like big thing in here, so like I was one of the best pro clubs players, so obviously I took that into like foot, and people say if you play pro clubs you're bad at foot, but like I think pro clubs help you so much. I think I started off at pro clubs. I was very good at foot, and then I had friends in pro clubs. They also invited me to play like tournaments and stuff. And then from then, my first year, straight away, I came top 4 in 4 qualifiers, and then came top 3 in the big one, which I got like 10k from. And then like from that point on, I was like, I'm clearly like capable of doing well.
Is that the point that your parents said, okay, do you know what? He's making some money from this, so maybe we got to let him have the Wi-Fi a bit later nowadays? Is that how they realize?
I wish. I got to like 9:30 p.m. I got extra half an hour maybe, but no, they were still very strict until I qualified for my first ever like LAN event, which when I was like 17, and like it was in London, the 2v2 Cup. So that was the first ever one. And then they started to believe it a little bit, but yeah, before then it was all just like, get off the game. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Just that good old stuff.
Yeah, understandable. So for those who may not know, I guess, how difficult it might be to balance trying to become a pro at a certain game and then obviously uni at the same time, what does like the average Mark11 day look like? What time are we waking up? Are we going on campus to uni? Are we studying at home? What's happening?
No, I think uni's I'll say it's pretty easy to balance, to be honest. Like, I hate having like morning classes, like 8 a.m. classes. I can't do those. So I've got like classes like 11:30 in the morning, 3 days a week, 11:30, 2:30, and I'll just wake up like 10 o'clock whenever I want, and then go uni, go back home, and then I play football, so I've got Monday, Wednesday, Saturday football, and then I used to also play futsal on Tuesdays, so it's a pretty like fun, busy schedule, but like I hate like just like sitting around and just like, I don't know, going on TikTok the whole time, but yeah, I enjoy like having like a schedule, for example. Yeah,
that makes, okay, so you played football, what position?
Centre back, 6'2", gotta play in the back line.
Okay, fair enough. I would not have guessed that you were a centre back, to be honest with you. Fair enough.
A striker. I used to be a striker, if you're going to say striker.
No, I thought you might play like a little centre mid or like on the wing or something, be a little tricky Egyptian winger there. You know what I mean? I thought maybe. Fair enough. Centre back. So do you have like a footballing idol, would you say, or not in centre backs? You just prefer like?
Nah, it's just Messi and full stop. But yeah, nowhere near centre back, but no, Messi is definitely my number one idol.
Fair enough. So obviously you're now somewhat established in the esports scene. So what would you say so far? Obviously it's still early days for you. What has been your proudest achievement so far?
Probably you can say like up there, second in the World Cup. So that was definitely. I honestly could have not ever like. If you told me when I was like 17 till I was like 30 years old, you're gonna come second in the world, I would never ever like even like. I'll just laugh at you, to be honest with you. That's definitely my biggest ever achievement. Probably, hopefully it won't be, but I'll probably be. That's hard to get better than that.
No, you can't say probably won't be. You have to develop that aura and say, yeah, you know what? For now, that's my best. But you wait till next year, I'm gonna be up even more. Because obviously, listen, you've been obviously flying in the E-League as well. So, chat to me. How have you been finding the current season in that regard?
So in E-League, I've won the E-League. I've played 4 years. I've won 3 years. So a little bit of Man City about me there. I'm pretty consistent. I feel like I do pretty well in like the E-League, but eventually like you lose games here and there. Like it's the game. You can't just keep winning. But yeah, obviously try my best to just win everything, because if you win that, you qualify for other events. So winning E-League is probably one of my favourite like leagues to play. Good friends around, good admin team. Like everyone knows each other, so it's pretty fun to play, and it is pretty like entertaining. And then obviously you win, qualify for events, and get a little bit of prize money from it.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Can't complain. Obviously, I mentioned in the intro, you are the best player in Oceania. Not to beg it, of course, but you were a bit shy when I said that. But now the stats that you're giving me and the fact that you're telling me, it sounds like you'd agree with that. Would you call yourself the best player in Oceania?
Look, people say I've got like a massive ego. I always like deny it, but like no, I do think like as long as no one comes second in the world from Australia, like no one's ever finished like top 8 before, so like I feel like me coming second, and I've won E-Leagues. I think I've qualified for the most LAN events, and I've only played for like 3 years, so I think I'm not gonna say I said it, but like the stats say it, and like the prize earnings and stuff, everything else says it.
Basically, what you're doing is someone said it. I don't know who said it, but I agree with them. That's what whoever said that. I agree with them, but it didn't come from me. That's what you're telling me. Well, I'll tell the people at home, this is the number 1 player at the moment. So who would you say then it would be your, I guess, biggest rival in that regard? Someone that you look at and think, yeah, do you know what? He's probably going toe to toe with me in that level.
Well, we had unfortunately a lot of old men that have retired. You got like Marcus, Jamie, Marco, like all those guys have already retired. They were obviously competing at the LAN events. They were pretty good. They were making like World Cups as well. So they were probably before my time. Like I never used to I've never ever played like Jamie in a game, for example, in a competitive game. I played Marco and Marcus only like for 1 year, for example. But I guess currently it's just Dylan, Mike. Mike's now retired as well. So it's just Dylan, Nageti, and Ryan. It's probably like the big, I guess, 3 or like 4, including me in the region probably.
Well, yeah, obviously having someone like Jamodo up there in the all times of Oceania, do you think that raises questions about, obviously a lot of people talk about what's the easiest region, the hardest region. The fact that we have to look at the mate Footwiz Jamodo as an all-timer. Do you think maybe Oceania is a bit of an easier region for you, or would you tell guys, nah, trust me, there's some great players here?
No, if it was an easy region, I wouldn't come second in the world twice. So like, it can't be that easy, or else I would have just lost straight away. But no, Jamie's he's an interesting player. He used to be good, but he's a little bit of a washed-up, retired pro, I'd say. Right?
Yeah, I think he focused too much on the drafts and he forgot about actually playing the competitive scene. Old tight Jamie, that's our guy, by the way. Don't take it seriously, you lot. Right, so worldwide then, who would you say is the best player at the moment? Who's like the number 1?
Oh, this question, yeah. Everyone loves this question. It's obviously like the big 3.
We got to get the clicks, innit?
Yeah. Tex, Nicholas, Zakhary, they're the big 3. Like, I feel like it just has to be like Tex for me, in more of like a playstyle way. And obviously he dominated for like that period of time where it was like 2 or 3 years. He won every single trophy. It sounds like a bit of glazing here, but I do think Zakhary was like way before my time. And then like Nicholas is obviously he's won like 9 World Cups in a row, so obviously he's got that. And then yeah, for me, I'll just go with Tex.
Fair. So similar question, I suppose. Then, since you've mentioned a couple names, if you had to build a Mount Rushmore of like the 4 goats, or like all time, can be past, present, what 4 names are you picking to show guys these are the 4 people that carried the esport, if you will?
4 names. Wow. Okay.
You can chuck yourself on the 4th one if you want. Feel free.
Okay, well, 2, I'd say 3 that are locks would be Tex, Nicholas, Zakhary in that order. And then 4th, that's a tough one. 4th, who's always consistent? A little bit of like, I'm going to go with Emre Yilmaz. I think he's very underrated, so I'll go with Emre Yilmaz.
Fez, you literally, it's like you got the script in front of me, because I was about to ask you then next, who would you say, not quite in the world, but in the Oceania region, who would you say are like the underrated players that maybe will be, I guess, heard more about in the future?
Oceania, we've got someone called FeWC. He's a Procos player, like he used to. I play Procos with him every single weekend. He's a bit of a foot sweat, like bit of a rat as well. So when you have those attributes about yourself, you've always got like a path to make it. But unfortunately, like I always get scared for a region. Like every single year, I like think, oh, like it's gonna go down in numbers every single year. But someone always just rocks up, even though they're not at the top level. They are like close to getting there. I think it's gonna take like a close to a miracle for someone to hit that top 4 that currently is in OCE. But I do think it's definitely possible for sure.
Yeah, so you'd say that I guess the region is growing slowly. They're going to be pushing towards them higher spots then.
Yeah, it won't be anytime soon, I think. I think it honestly has to be like a fluke, like someone just comes out of nowhere, so like me, for example, when I was like 16, 17, that just like a freak at the game and just ends up just winning games, beating everyone, and then just being consistent. That's the main part.
Fair enough. So who would you say are, I guess, your opponents, or it could be one, could be a couple names, that you see you got to face them and you're thinking, long day. It's going to be a tough game.
It's always just like, it's Negeti. Like, for example, this year was Negeti, the year before was like Dylan, year before it was Ryan. It's always like whoever's good, whoever's the best in the year, because there's always someone that like, oh no, that's a sick matchup for you, that's a free win in OCA. There's some games you get, you're like you take that every other week, but you obviously don't want to verse like the big three early on in tournaments, but at the end of the day, you have to verse everyone if you want to win the whole thing, so they have to come eventually, I guess.
Yeah, fair. Before we get into the formations and whatnot, again, I know you lot are waiting to just find out the formations and who goes on, come back on defense. Just wait, because I want to go outside the game just a little bit. Who would you say are, I guess, your closest friends that you've, I guess, met through esports, or maybe it could be guys from FootWiz? Who are the closest guys that you chat to the most?
To be honest with you, like I think this scene is honestly like insane. Like I've obviously qualified. I'm obviously grateful for qualifying for many, like a lot of LAN events, and like everyone is just so like nice. Like you go like to the hotel, you chill there for like 3 hours, just chatting about like history and like previous stuff and even like future stuff. It's honestly like really fun. Like I'm good friends with like, I guess the big one is Tex. I'm good friends with Tex. We used to chill out a lot. Me, him, and Nick Sneb at like World Cup before. Like Stingray, Demon, obviously. You've got all the UK guys I'm good with. You got obviously like Team Hullet and Leipzig, Umit, Anders. Anders is one of the, I can't lie, he's one of the funniest guys in LAN events. Like he's really, really funny. Umit's obviously good. All the coaches are underrated. Like you got Daniel, you got Renzo, you got Nick, Piacin's coach. Like all those guys. Like I can't lie to you, everyone is so fun to be around, which is why like when you make these LAN events, it's not just about like, oh, let's go and win, focus, like don't talk to anyone. Like it's all about the friends you make along the way. Obviously that sounds like cliche because everyone says that, but it is like one of like the best feelings, saying like, oh, you're gonna meet all these people, have a chat with them and stuff.
I hear it. I fully agree with you, because obviously I've done a couple, I guess, events in the last few months where I've met a lot of these guys, and honestly, I can't think of anyone that I thought, oh, this guy's a bit like arrogant or whatever. Yeah. Obviously, you have Anders, who has like his jokingly, and I think he's joking a little bit. Maybe he's being dead serious. Slightly, I don't know, but he's a fascinating character. So, out of all these guys, you said again, you love to just chat to them and whatnot. They're all good dudes. Is there someone that, when you're chatting to them, they only speak about esports? There's no talk about like how was your life, what they're eating. It's just the game, 24/7.
I can't lie to you, no one even talks about esports. It's always just about like life. Like it's always just talks about life, like who you're signing with, how much money you're getting. It's always like all the contract talk. It's always contract talk. It's always like football talk, like who do you go for? Oh, they're terrible and stuff. It's always like, no one really talks about like, the game. I guess like the day before it's about, oh, the bracket, like, oh, he's bad, he's good. But there's not much like sit down, like you just like lock in and talk about the game only, for example.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I hear that one. So who would you say out of the guys that you would say you're cool with, or not cool with perhaps, who would you say, and you can answer FootWiz Stokes for this, who would you say has the worst drip you've seen? You go to these events, you're thinking, what is that guy wearing?
God.
Like, you need to work on your fits.
That's a tough question. Ooh. You know, people actually dress up like, if you see like the French guys, guys rock up and like, you think it's like the red carpet the way they come. It's actually like impressive. They wear like Gucci Prada bags. It's crazy. Like baggy jeans, everything there. And then everyone else is just in trackies. But the worst drip, I'm going to go with, that's actually difficult. It has to be a FootWiz member. That's going to really boil a bit of blood. So I'm going to go with, it's between, I'm going to go with Ethan Higgins. He's always in trackies, always in runners. I'm going with Ethan Higgins. He's going to hate me. I'm going to get straight in the group chat. He's going to say, what did you just say about me? But yeah, I'm going with Ethan Higgins.
Fair enough. And so it could be in a nice way, the most annoying person.
Annoying? Nah, no one's annoying.
Like, as in, cause, like, for example, if you're having the football conversations, there can be people that you just find annoying because they just they have certain agendas, and it does rattle you a little bit, but you don't really want to admit it.
There's one answer. It's Lamps FIFA. That guy, he loves Chelsea too much. He's the Chelsea like propaganda agenda. Every single word you can think about. Lamps and Chelsea. It's not a good mix. Don't follow him on. Actually, no, follow him on Twitter, of course. But I might have to mute him or something. But yeah, his Chelsea tweets are they're pretty funny. But yeah, he talks about them every single LAN event, guaranteed once.
Yeah. Are you one of those guys that's a bit like Jamodo who will just gas up Ange Postecoglou no matter what from Australia? Are you one of those guys as well? Or
no, I'm not an Australian as like Jamie, so he's more of like a bit of heart to Ange. I'm like, Ange is good and stuff. Yeah, like I rate him, but yeah, he's not on my top like anything manager. But I love his play style. I love managers that actually like play good football. You don't get a lot of those often.
Yeah, fairs. Right, you are of course quite a young guy. So what are your future goals, either in the esports or it could be obviously the sports science that you're doing at uni?
Yeah, like obviously like the dream is to like just make money and a living off like Twitch. Like you got like obviously Stokes, he gets like 2K viewers, and like those guys like pro players and they do content stream camps and stuff. Like that's honestly like probably one of like the best things like that would be kind of cool to do. And also like I do want to be like I do like physiotherapy, so I can take like something up in physio or like be at a football club. Or like in Australian like AFL, you probably don't know what that is, it's Australian sport, but anything around like a sport club for like physio or like work like, statistics and stuff, I just find anything like sport related pretty cool. So either streaming or just a physio or sports scientist and that.
No, that sounds sick. And to answer your question about AFL, I'll be honest, all I know about any sports in Australia is that the actual football league is where Brazilians go to when they're like 45 years old to have a bit of fun. You just see like Rivaldo or other brothers. They're like, you know what? I've hit 50. Let me go play Australia League for a little bit. That's what I know about your league. And Jamie's brother used to play for one of the teams as well. That's about it. Right, now, for those of you who, like I said, you are trying to become more of a rat, or you want to just get, I guess, on Mark11's level, grab your pen and paper. We're going to get into the formations and tactics side of things. Now, after previous advice on this pod, I've started going into games and immediately banging out 1 or 2 step overs like that to give. I want to I guess like demonstrate my pro player aura. I want to intimidate people with that. So, what are 3 things you see someone do that instantly make you know that's a pro player there?
That's actually a very good question. I can't lie. Okay, these are pretty good. Okay, step over cancel. You get into a game, so there's a step over cancel. You know they can do a step over. They can cancel it. They can do everything in that. That's definitely one. Player lock cancels. Player lock cancels. They do a player lock, they don't play it, but they cancel and keep going. So that means they've got a fast finger, it's got the mechanics. Third one, I would say, they either if they spam skill moves, that's not really a good one because someone can just like spam their stick and then they're doing like Jamie or something. But you can have like time finishing. That's a good one. If they green all their shots, you're in for a big game. So that's probably another one.
The thing is with the player lock one, I feel like my aura decreases with that one because I press it and I don't know what to do next. Like I'm thinking, what happens now? I don't want to lose the ball, so I just release it quickly and carry on playing as normal. But I feel like maybe in their head they're thinking, oh yeah, this guy's done it really fast. He must know what he's doing. But fairs, cool. So another thing, I guess that's a massive way in which you guys separate yourselves from the casuals or the guys that can get like let's say 16, 14 wins every weekend is defending. How would you say someone should improve at defending if there's someone that, again, wants to get a lot better at the game?
Yeah, honestly, like, I can't lie to you, 2 years ago, I was probably the worst defender in the region. And, like, I came into, like, the year after, into, like, World Cup, and I was, like, considering, like, 1 goal a game and, like, 2 leg games and stuff. So I just, like, it's all about, like, it depends obviously your play style. Some people just like to sprint at you and just press at you and stuff. I'm more of like a passive defender. I'll let you just run into me. So my only like advice is literally L2, R2, just jockey. When you get the chance, you sprint and tackle. But yeah, I never like randomly just sprint at someone and just try to win the ball. Always like very patient and like just take my time in defending. That's the only thing I would really do. Would
you say pro clubs helps with that? Because when I was probably my best at the game, I used to play any and control the back 4 on pro clubs. And I'll go into Ultimate Team and I'll be slapping up everyone. But I haven't played clubs in a while. And now I'm the guy that I drag out my centre back 20 to just chase you even to the halfway line. I drag out my guys. So would you say pro clubs helps a little bit?
I do think it helps because like people say Pro Cup doesn't help in like Ultimate Team and stuff, but I think like you're versing like say you're 11v11, if you get the ball, you have like 4 guys running at you. You've also got like 10 of your teammates with like pressure of like you can't lose the ball. They like making them disappointed and stuff. To seriously, obviously take Pro Cups, but I do think like Pro Cups is definitely like a big help in just your overall gameplay.
Sure. Would you say there's any way that I can, well, not me myself, I think I have the perfect mentality for the game. Would you say someone else, there's a good way for them to improve in their mentality towards games, like not getting rattled or anything like that?
I do like I have actually a good one. I have a good story. Back in like my first competitive year, I played Marcus Gomes. He's obviously an Australian like GOAT, obviously. Yeah. We were in a knockouts game, right? And I go into the game, I'm 2-0 up, 70th minute, I'm 20 minutes away and I win the game. But I was so naive, I guess immature, scared. I did not want to hold the ball and like pass around the back, and I was obviously playing for money and stuff, and like obviously and I ended up losing that game because I didn't want to hold the ball, and I lost that game. And from that moment on, I'm like, I don't care what people think. I'm just gonna play however I want. Obviously, in the competitive, it's different to like foot champs and stuff, but yeah, I'll just say don't hold the ball for the whole game and definitely fight for the back, but don't like just rush out playing. Take your time. Taking your time is honestly the best advice ever. Like you just have to be patient and build up. It's all about decision making. That's like timing and decision making is probably the top 2 biggest skill assets that you need to be good at this game.
So from what I'm gathering, you're the kind of guy that does the switches from left back to right back, from left back to right back. Is that what you're on to the last 5 minutes?
No, I never ever used to be a right. I'm more like a skiller attacker, but if I'm like in the 85th minute, you're not touching that ball if I'm winning. I'll just say that.
No, but I agree with that because obviously I've tried to do that, but again, because I'm not a pro player yet, my immediate thought, and obviously I'm only playing it if I'm streaming, I'm trying to just get goals and I guess entertain. Yeah. So if I'm 1-up with like 5-10 minutes to go, I'm going for more goals. I can't do the pass around the back thing, so I'll just end up losing it, and I'm going to be more rattled because they're going to start doing griddies and whatever. And on that note, I guess, players that play in a very toxic manner. Have you ever been the kind of guy that when you've played against that and you beat them, do you give them a little voice message, a cheeky troll message, or do you just say, you know what, I get the win, and I could be honest, because I'll tell you mine afterwards.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I hate those guys. Like, in the game, I want to do a lot of stuff, but obviously you have to stay calm in the game. But to be honest, I never ever gritty. That's one thing I never do. I just never gritty. But I did beat someone actually 2 weeks ago in a penalty shootout. Okay. I put my controller close to my mouth and I just laughed. I just laughed at them, sent the voice message over, and that was it. That was probably one most of like toxic one that I've done. But yeah,
that's what I like to hear because I'm the kind of person. Again, I don't do this just for any regular game, but when someone's behaving in a certain fashion, I have been known to pull up. You know the goal music that plays when Bayern Munich score. I play that on YouTube. And then I start saying, Soo, hold that. I might pause it 3 times in the 90th minute. Because I feel like if someone else starts it, you're entitled to give it back to them, surely.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that.
There we go. So I have my justification for it. Now, obviously, formation-wise, we got to know what's cooking right now.
It's just the basic 4-3-2-1. You play that, you'll win more games than playing the other formation, to be honest. If you want to like be a little bit different, you can try like 4-4-1-1. That's coming a little bit viral in the pro scene, I guess. So you can try, I'm sure you find some tactics. You got like Johnny uses it, and stuff. You can just hop on that on Instagram. So yeah.
Fairs. Will you say that you use any other formations when you're maybe losing or winning, or do you just change, I guess, the level of press that you're using?
So I'll just go like 4-2-4 when I'm losing, just get everyone up. 4-2-4 constant pressure. Defensively, when I'm winning, I usually in champs I stay the same, but in pro gameplay you could go like a 4-5-1, 4-2-3-1. That's probably the 2. You get everyone back, just have one striker up top. But yeah, no 5 at the backs unfortunately as they're banned. But fair enough. Just 4 at the backs.
Who would you say would be all year the most overrated card in the game? Someone that you don't get why everyone rates this guy, or too expensive?
Ooh, that is a good question. That's a really good question. Let me think about this. Overall,
I can give you some names that I've been told previously. I've heard a few guys have said Pele is actually overrated this year.
No.
I heard a couple Hullets.
Oh my god, thank you. Hullets on. every single
reckon?
year, I don't use Huller. I hate him with a passion. He's just people. I think people use him because like he just all around has that hair. So I never ever use Huller. I used him in my E-League Australia, but there was no one else. I think he has probably his best card this year, which I'm fine if you use him this year. But previously, Huller, I think never in my life in a pro tournament I've ever used Huller except for the E-League Oz, which was this year.
Interesting, because when they used to have the base, middle, and primes, I used to rock with that 90 Hullet. That was my guy back then.
Yeah, that's it.
Fair enough.
I was a good card. I just don't think his stats are just. I'm more of like a stats guy. If I see bad stats, I'm not going to use you. So his stats are pretty mid. They're all just like, I just don't like him. Nothing excites me about him, to be honest.
Does R9 gas you? Because there's obviously always going to be strikers with better stats than him. But R9's R9 low key, no?
And R9 has that aura. If you search up aura, R9 will come up. He's the guy that's locked in like every single team. Even if he's like behind the meta, he will win you games and definitely score you goals.
Fairs. And then the reverse, we're going to go most underrated cards. So someone that only maybe you use and you're not really sure why no one else does, or they're quite cheap.
To be honest, cards with like, especially this year, like Finesse Plus, all those cards are like really cheap. So obviously it's more like Playstyle Pluses, but any card with like Finesse Plus, Pink Pass, those two, I think they're the most underrated playstyle. So if anyone's got them, I just straight away get in my RTG team, get my main team. Like I'm a big fan of like those playstyles because they make the game so much easier to play.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've not been fully up to speed with the playstyle stuff yet. I look at the stats, I look at the stars of the skill moves and weak foot, but fair enough. So you guys note this one down then. You're getting some free tips here. And obviously we spoke about the defensive side of things. So the last, I guess, tactics sort of question. Going forward, what are maybe 2 or 3 meta skill moves that I can go in the arena and go practice them and add them into my game?
Well, everyone knows, I guess, if you know me, you know my step overs. Like, honestly, like, when I was like 16 to 17, I spent, you might not believe it, but I spent every single day 1 to 2 hours in the practice arenas doing step overs. And
so you were using your 9 p.m. deadline to do step overs. You weren't even playing matches.
No. The 9 p.m. deadline, because practice arena is offline, so you need internet to play the practice arena. For example, so one of those ones, I'm like, you play like the ultimate team and stuff before 9 o'clock, and then after that you got like 9 to 10 of just spamming step overs and ball rolls.
So that's like your warm down session from the champs earlier.
Fair enough. Honestly, I just mastered it like that. Elasticos are, you got reverse and a normal. Probably just those 3: ball roll, elastico, and the step overs. If you master those 3, your attack will be a lot better if you obviously know how to use it in the right place and time.
And then I guess cancelling them as well makes it double as effective.
Yeah, cancelling is definitely like practice cancel, like even like shots, passing, player locks, everything cancel just adds a little bit of like experience, and just you'll be good at the game once you just master that stuff.
Fair enough. I will note these down, and I'm going to be getting 20 next weekend. Don't you worry about that. Or I might go and get 14 again. Right, we get into the final section. It's going to be the Q&A. It's like hot seat questions where it can just be like a yes or no, or just a one-word answer if you want. You can elaborate if you want to as well. Feel free. Okay. There are about 10 or 12 questions here. The first one you've kind of answered already, but who is the GOAT in football?
Messi.
Okay. What celebrity would you want to invite to a dinner party? Can be footballer, can be anything.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Kendall Jenner. Yeah, just me and Kendall Jenner can have a nice dinner date. We can have some nice dinner at Novu. So yeah, that'll be a good day, I think. Yeah.
You know this question, normally people say like Barack Obama, they might say like just someone interested. You've gone straight away, Kendall Jenner, go on, come from the dinner party. Fairs. Would you say you're a morning person or a night owl?
Nah, night for sure. Anything before 10 a.m, I'm not there for that.
What time is it there for you now in Australia?
8:42 p.m.
Okay, yeah. See, for me, this is done in the morning as well, so I feel you a little bit on that one. All right, you've been in a lot of countries in your time. If you could live in any country for 1 year, what country would you choose?
Dubai. Dubai is like up there. They're rich, and like everything is like, even like I went to Saudi Arabia, like the treatment, the people, the service that you get is honestly no other country in the world like I've been to has ever done that. So Dubai and like Saudi Arabia, those two are like honestly insane.
I keep hearing about Saudi from every single pro player, and I'm once again saying whoever's responsible, invite me to Saudi, please. I want to see what Saudi's like myself as well. Right. What is the best traditional food that you eat? Could be Australia, could be Egyptian.
Traditional food, okay. There's an Egyptian food called fata. I think it's FATA. It's like meat, lamb and rice, and like it's all like cooked very well. It's like just a nice dinner. You should definitely try. It's not hard to make. Actually, no, it's pretty hard to make. My mum can't make it, but my auntie and grandma can make it, and when they make it, it's definitely one of the best foods, our favourite food, sorry.
Fairs. Choose any person in the world that you'd love to meet. I'm going to guess you're going to go Kendall Jenner again, or
No, let's go. I like to meet. No, honestly, I'll go with like... I'll go with Ronaldo for this one instead of Messi. We'll go with Ronaldo for this one. I'd like to know just more about his life, yeah.
Interesting. A lot of guys, when they sort of have a die-hard repping for one side, they don't really appreciate the other one. So you were saying you'd like to actually meet Ronaldo. You can ask him.
I do appreciate both. I'm not like the one that hates Ronaldo. I do think Messi is clear and like definitely clear, but I do want to know more about Ronaldo on a personal level, I guess, yeah.
So you aren't the kind of guy that goes on the comments saying, "Oh, I asked the teacher and I said, yeah, Miss, I'm Ronaldo," and then she knew I was finished. You're not one of them ones. You're a sensible guy. So respect for that one. Right. Would you rather go skydiving or bungee jumping?
Ooh, skydiving. I think that's like the adrenaline rush you get from that. Obviously, you could die, unfortunately, but like it'll be a pretty fun experience. It's definitely. I don't want to say it's up there on my bucket list. Probably not, but like I wouldn't be against doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can't like me. I have no business jumping off of anything, man. It's trampoline and that's it. This one's a bit of a trickier one, so you can take your time if you need to think about it. If you could be an animal, what animal would you pick?
Wow, that is hard. An animal. I'd like to be a dolphin.
Okay,
a dolphin. Like everyone loves you first of all, so no one hates you. You got no enemies. You're in the ocean. You can have a lot of animals with you. But yeah, I'll go with dolphin. I think it's everyone loves that animal, so I like to be loved, I'd say. So I'll go with dolphin.
And there's no 9 p.m. Wi-Fi underwater as well, isn't it? You could just do whatever you like.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Fairs. Right. What characteristic or attribute would you say you like the most about yourself? Gas yourself up a little bit.
About myself. Okay. I'd say like I hate to lose, so like my willingness to like not lose in like whether it's like any sort of from like esport game to like versus my dad or my mum and like my sister and anything. I just hate losing, so I guess the desire to just like want to keep on like winning in I guess life in general is probably like up there as one of like my best attributes.
Fair enough. I'd probably back that one as well. One player you'd love to team up against in like a 2v2 tournament.
Like a verse? Or to be with?
No, to be with, like on your team.
On my team. I think me and PHZ would be an unreal duo. Our attacking chemistry would be through the roof, I think, yeah.
Right, now this one, I'm going to modify the question a little bit. If you were stranded on a desert island, what is one item you'd bring with you and one FootWiz person that's going to be there with you? Could be a coach, could be a player, could be whatever. Desert island. Okay.
I think the item's a no-brainer. It has to be a phone. The phone can do a lot of things, so I'll take a phone with me. And JW9, he's a big 6'4" man, like a security guard, so I'll take him. He knows a lot of stuff about the world life. He's got a bit of experience, the old man, so I'll take JW9 with me.
Yeah, I hear that one. You can fight against any other random strangers that might pull up on the island as well. So yeah, that's fair. Right, favourite time of year? Like summer, winter, spring?
Actually, I love summer, I love winter, but like, you know when it's like 20 degrees and it's not like 29 or it's not like 10 degrees, like the nice like 20-degree weather, it's like good when it's not too hot or too cold. So I'd say like, yeah, anywhere just where it's just 20 degrees, I'm there for that.
Fairs. I'd probably agree. Like, around like for us, it's maybe now like May sort of time in England where we're getting into summer, but it's not baking just yet. So that's fair. Best football club in the world. I think I know your answer, but
yeah, it's Man City. Like if you say otherwise, you're lying to yourself. Like you go on, people say like Man City's boring to watch. Like, if you say that, then I don't agree that you actually watch football and you don't actually understand the game. But yeah, I do think it's the team over right there, the scarf, Man City. Yeah.
Fair, cheeky little Man City rep in the back. I hear that. Fair enough. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what food would it be?
Ooh, between pasta or chicken, I'm going with pasta. You got a lot of variety in pasta. You won't get sick of it. So yeah, I'll definitely. Even though I do hate like the Parmesan cheese, I despise like that cheese that people put on top of it. But for me, it's pasta.
Okay, makes sense. And one activity you love to do outside of gaming and playing football?
Honestly, like it's the boring answer, but just spend time with friends. It's like you gain like I hate like being like alone and like just doing nothing all day. So just being around like your friends is honestly one of like the best feelings. You're just laughing the whole night and stuff, eating food, playing games and stuff. That's easily the best for me.
Makes sense. And then the final question is going to be one piece of advice you'd give to someone that wants to try and get into esports.
Okay. I'll say don't give up if you don't win. That's probably the main one, because people just lose a few games and that's it. It's not meant to be, and they just give up. So yeah, I'd say definitely that one. Just always like keep going. Like you can't win every single game, or else everyone would just be good and just be rich and stuff. So you have to go through hurdles, obstacles. So yeah, I'd say just keep going in life, really.
Fair enough. There you guys go. Hopefully you've been making notes on that one. There we have it. That was a lot of fun. Big thanks to Mark for taking his time out of his busy day. He's got about 7 matches to play afterwards. 7 aside, 5 aside, 11 aside after this. Even bigger thank you to you guys at home, whether you are watching it or listening. Hopefully you've all enjoyed this episode. Let us know whatever guests you want to see in the future. And of course, follow our socials to stay up to date with whenever there's going to be a new episode loading. Other than that, have a great day. In a bit. Bosh.